Hi guys, welcome back to the Thrifty Upcycler. I'm so glad that you tuned in today. We have a fabulous show today. I am so excited about it. We have a fabulous guest coming on today. Emma Terrell from the Urban Botanist is going to be coming in and showing us lots about plants and how to create a living wall, which I'm super excited about. I'm also going to be showing you how to upcycle your kitchen cabinets. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to save money on your kitchen renovation. So, kitchen renovations can be quite costly. Kitchens are a place, though, where we spend quite a lot of time, where we make memories, where we create, and where we entertain. However, not everyone has a fabulous kitchen that they want to have people over and entertain. I was one of them. One of our first homes that we moved into was horrific. We had brown kitchen cabinets, we had flesh-colored walls, so we really had to get a little bit thrifty and figure out how we could upcycle to really up our kitchen. So I have a couple of tips here today on how you can look at saving some money. So once you figured out your budget that you have for your kitchen, and that's really important to do, of course, the next thing, usually what I end up doing is I take a bit of an inventory. So I will take a look at what things I can save on and what things I can splurge on. And by doing that, it makes it a little bit easier on the budget. So I brought in a couple things today just to show you what you can look at splurging on. So splurges should definitely be things like your wall tile. I picked this up too. I'm in love with this gorgeous tile, and it's really fun to be able to have a really nice backsplash. This one I love too. It's a very textured pattern. Another fabulous wall tile. Now these are all going to cost a little bit money, but you definitely want to make sure that you do spend the money on your tile because you don't want to have to worry about replacing it. Another thing is your flooring. You definitely want to make sure that you spend some extra money on your floor. Okay, so we've talked already about things that you should be splurging on, but there's also some things that you can save some money on. One thing is you can find usually some really nice hardware to put onto your kitchen cabinets. So these ones here, I actually found these at a local thrift store for a great price, and these are really gorgeous. So to me, hardware on your kitchen cabinets is like having jewelry. So one of the biggest things, though, that you can save money on is when you are doing, when you're looking at your kitchen cabinets. So most of us have just these 80s kitchen cabinets here. They're golden oak. They're not that pretty looking and they look a little bit tired. But rather than going out and spending all the money on brand new kitchen cabinets, a really great way is to just upcycle these. So I'm going to show you today how you can revive these, transform them, and to make it into a kitchen where you would be happy to entertain and make some memories. So a couple of things about kitchen cabinets. Yes, you can absolutely paint them, and we have a couple of pictures here. We have some before and afters, just so you can kind of get a feel for what they look like. So this one here, this is a before kitchen again, and this is pretty much your standard kitchen cabinet that a lot of us have. It's fantastic. It's still solid wood, and why get rid of it when you can just repaint it? So we're going to go to the next picture right now. This is a kitchen cabinet that has been painted. So I painted this, and then I used a little bit of glaze, black glaze. You can kind of see in the little bits just to give it a little bit more depth and detail, but you can see how much you can really transform just by adding a little bit of paint and changing things up. So another reason why I really love being able to paint your kitchen cabinets is that you can create a really beautiful custom looking kitchen, and it saves you quite a bit of money. We all know how much it is when you are looking at kitchen renovations. It could be tens of thousands of dollars if you are looking at buying brand new. But by just doing this, you can really change things up, and you can pick whatever color you want and whatever style you are loving. So there's a couple of things in terms of the kinds of paints that I use. I really love using two brands. One is called Fusion Mineral Paint. It's a fantastic paint. It's Canadian made that you can paint right over top. The other one is Fat Paint. Both of them are really fantastic, and they're very easy to use. You don't have to be an artist either. So I have a couple of pictures of a client of mine. She's actually going to be coming on the show in a little bit. She has painted her kitchen cabinet, and we have a before picture coming up just to kind of give you an idea. So this is the before picture of her kitchen. So you can see the standard oak kitchen cabinets, kind of tired looking, and the after is gorgeous. Now you can see this is a really gorgeous navy. Same kitchen cabinets, just with a coat of paint over top of it, and they're gorgeous. With that nice white kitchen counters, it really makes the kitchen look much more modern and really lightens the whole space up. It's really gorgeous. So, a couple of things about kitchen cabinets. We're going to get into all the details after break, but I'm going to give you a few tips just to kind of get us thinking in that way. So a couple of things when you are looking at doing your kitchen cabinets is you need to really make sure that you have the right materials. So first of all, this kitchen cabinet here, this is a solid wood kitchen cabinet. So this, you just need to do a little bit of a prep and you can paint. However, if you have a laminate kitchen cabinet top, what I would recommend using first is Ultragrip. And laminate, I mean by the kind of plasticky stuff that you can find sometimes over kitchen cabinets. So if you have that, this is the first step that you're going to take. You're going to apply this. But if not, then you can get to the good stuff. In terms of equipment that you need to use, I absolutely recommend, just because this is going to cost you probably a third less than going out and buying brand new kitchen cabinets, is to make sure that you've got the right tools. So get yourself a good quality brush. This is one that I use all the time. You can see that it's nice and rounded, and I get asked often, why a rounded brush? So I love these because when you are painting, you can get into all the little bits much easier. Sometimes with a square brush, you might be able to miss it, but this gets into all the little bits and hugs all the edging, just like that. So plus holding it like this, it makes it a lot easier, and you don't get any hand fatigue after. So the next thing to make your life a lot easier is get yourself a microfiber roller. Microfiber rollers are fantastic. They make the job much easier, and you can get a really gorgeous smooth finish on your painted surface. So these are some things that I would recommend doing. The other tip that I give to people is if you are looking at painting your kitchen cabinets, get yourself a board to start on first. Just a small board like this, or go to the thrift store and find something small that you can paint, just so you can kind of get an idea of how to use the paint and how it's working for you. That'll give you a really good opportunity to really try it out and have a bit of a go with it before you start on your kitchen cabinets. Because let's face it, painting kitchen cabinets is a big job, and it can take a little bit of time. So you want to make sure that you give yourself the time, and you have you're able to finish it up. Okay, thanks so much. Next, after the break, I'm going to be showing you how to fix up your kitchen cabinets. Welcome back. Okay, so we're talking about how to paint your kitchen cabinets today, and I'm really excited about this. This is such a fabulous way to be able to save yourself some money and to create a beautiful kitchen that you are hoping to entertain lots of people in. So a couple of things. When you're painting your kitchen cabinets, it can be a bit of a daunting project. It can get a little overwhelming because, let's face it, most people have quite a lot of cabinets in your kitchen. So as I mentioned before, what you do want to do is start with something small first. But once you've done that, then we can get to the good stuff and we can start painting. So a couple of things. I've broken it down into 5 steps to make it a really easy process for you. So there's 5 tips on how to paint your kitchen cabinet. So the very first one is style. So it's important to figure out what style of kitchen that you're going for. So are you going for something very modern and sleek? Are you looking for something very rustic? Once you figure that out, then we can move on to the next. And the next is color. Now, there are so many fabulous colors that you can look at painting your kitchen cabinets. It's fabulous if you want to look at using a trend color, going with some really gorgeous blues or some really nice grays, or if you even want to have fun and throw a little bit of green into your kitchen cabinet. It's really what you love. And the nice thing about painting it yourself is you can get the color that you want. So Once you've figured out the color, then the most important step is prepping your kitchen cabinet first. And the reason why is because kitchen cabinets, as you know, they do build up a little bit of grease and oil over some time. So you want to make sure that you get it all off, because if you don't, the worst thing that can happen is that you don't properly prep, you don't remove all the grease and oil, and then you paint it, and then a little while after, the paint starts peeling off. So you want to make sure that you're going to have the best adherence for your painted kitchen cabinet, so you want to prep. So there's a couple of things that you need. Number one is get yourself some TSP. That's pretty much the most important thing. Now what I've done is I've gone out and I've got myself some concentrated TSP, and I followed the instructions and I added a little bit. I went to the dollar store and I got myself this little water bottle, which is going to help me paint all my kitchen cabinets and clean them. So first off, make sure that you label it too, because sometimes you end up forgetting, which I found out a few times. So you're going to start off, you want to give it a good spray. So you're going to spray your whole kitchen cabinet just like this. And again, by doing this, you're going to be removing all the grease and oils, and even if it doesn't look like you have it, there is going to be some on there. So you're going to take shop rags, which is probably one of my favorite things to use whenever I'm refinishing or painting anything. And a quick tip, whenever you're using them, you want to make sure that you fold it into all fours. It just makes it a little bit easier and you don't end up wasting so much. So I am going to give this a good wipe. Ooh, and you can already see there's like, I don't know if you can see that, there's lots of dirt and stuff all over it. So I'm just going to give this a good wipe off, removing everything. And again, because this is a solid wood kitchen cabinet, I can just go ahead after I've done my prep and I can start painting. But if you do have a laminate cabinet, that's the kind of plasticky veneer finish, then you would need to look at using Ultra Grip or primer first. Oh goodness, so this one was pretty dirty. Okay, so once we've done that, then we are going to pull out some sandpaper. And in the refinishing world and painting world, 220 sandpaper is your best friend. So this is what you're going to use, and I'm going to take about this much, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a gentle scuff up, just like this. And what this is going to do is it's just going to give it a little bit of tooth. So when I put my paint on, it's going to adhere really, really well. And again, the prep is the most important step that you need to do to make sure that you have a successful outcome with your painting. Especially too, why do all that work if it ends up coming off after? So this is a very important step. Okay, so that's pretty good. You saw how I was doing it, just as if I was wiping down my kitchen table. I've scuffed it up a little bit. Now there is a little bit of dust on it, so I'm going to go back to my damp rag and I'm just going to wipe off all the excess so I don't have any little bits in my painted kitchen cabinet. All right. So here we go. It's all nice and clean, and now we get to the good stuff. So a couple things. When you are looking at painting your kitchen cabinets, sometimes you can just paint them if they're still hanging up. That's up to you. If they're up and you want to paint them that way, go for it. If it's easier for you and it feels more comfortable, then take them off, do it on a flat surface. But whenever you're painting anything, I always recommend you want to make sure that it is an enjoyable experience. So if you like having a glass of wine, if you like some chocolate, then just make sure you have some on the side. And make sure that you're comfortable and you're not hurting yourself. Okay, so here we go. So I've got my paint. Using a tray like this is probably your best bet. You can pour some in and you can make sure that you don't contaminate your paint. So this is, as I mentioned, this is one of my favorite brushes. So the key to painting your kitchen cabinets is you just want to get enough paint on it, but you don't want to have a ton. And what you're going to do is you're just going to do really nice long strokes. And I'm doing this in a really nice gray that I am really in love with. So you can see here, do you see how well it's going on? And this is only one coat. Look how much it's covering. I'm going to show you another quick tip here. So if you are doing it, make sure you can lift it up, put a couple of cans of something, frozen or canned foods, and just hold up your, and you can just hold up your cabinet, and it makes it much, much easier. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to use this. So this is a microfiber roller. It's your best friend. It's going to give you a really lovely, beautiful finish. The trick to this, though, is you want to make sure that when you're doing it, you have super, super light coats. So you can see just like that. Okay. So you can get an idea now of how easy it is to paint. But once you're done painting, it is extremely important to make sure that you do look at applying a finish to your kitchen cabinets to keep them protected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some top coat on this already painted kitchen cabinet. And all you're going to do is just wipe it on. Actually, I'm going to use this little paintbrush right here. So I just squirted some on, and then I am just going to do really nice long strokes. So you want to do about 2 coats of your top coat over top of it, but that's going to give you a really beautiful finish. And there you go. You see how it brings the color to life? Next up, we have Emma Terrell from The Urban Botanist. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. So I am very excited today. We have Emma Terrell from The Urban Botanist here talking about how to really up your whole green living by creating living walls and terrariums. So I'm so happy to have you here, Emma. And I know that that it took you a little bit to get here, but I'm glad that you're here. Yeah, I'm just wondering if you could talk just a little bit about your business.
The Urban Botanist is really what started it was trying to encourage people to engage with nature in an urban setting. A lot of the times I find myself especially feeling starved for that interaction with nature. So the Urban Botanist kind of started to give that opportunity to people to bring plants inside and kind of have that interaction that you sometimes don't have every day.
Yeah, oh, fantastic. So how long have you been doing this for?
About 2 years now, actually, yeah.
Oh, awesome. So you brought in some plants to talk about, so I'd love to hear a little bit more about your living wall.
So we are now offering living wall installations and design concepts. We love using this particular product here, Wally Eco Growers. They are super easy to use, easy to install. They're made of 100% recycled plastic, which is amazing. They come in a stunning variety of colors, like you can see here.
Yeah, I love this. Oh, this is gorgeous, this one.
And a really cool thing about them actually is that they're perfectly swatched with bare paints. So if you wanted to have a really seamless look when you're installing these on your wall at home, you can basically choose one of the bare paints that are perfectly swatched, or they also offer a few other colors that essentially pair really well with the colors that they have.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you can match it perfectly so it looks seamless.
Seamless, and just flush, looks almost like a floating living wall. Yeah, exactly. So basically how these work, honestly, they are so easy.
Okay.
Everything comes with it that you need, all the way down to the screw and the drywall plug.
Oh, fantastic.
So it's literally one screw. You essentially screw this into your wall. It's basically a French cleef style, and you're able to just hang them in a really nice variety of arrangements, whether you want them straight across or you kind of want an offset pattern.
Gorgeous, yes.
To really just bring that space to life. And one of the things that I love about living walls is, you know, small spaces, apartments where you maybe don't have the floor space necessarily. No floor, no problem. You can put it up on your wall, easy breezy. The other great thing about these guys is you can see there's a built-in back basin here, which basically is for you to put water in, and they're self-watering, self-irrigating, so they're easy to kind of step away from if you're going to the cottage for 2 weeks or you're a little bit more of a neglectful gardener.
Yes.
That's fine. It makes it easy for anyone of any gardening level to sort of use at home.
That's perfect. So So for the person like me who forgets to water their plants every once in a while, sometimes it can be a few weeks, I don't need to worry about it then? I could just...
Yeah, that's right. I mean, more or less, of course, I wouldn't say walk away for months at a time.
Yeah.
But I really like to recommend using a particular variety of plants that, you know, are open to neglect and, you know, ones that you can't kill.
Yes.
So, you know, something like this is a Philodendron Brazil. This plant here is really popular. A lot of people tend to have these at home. Marble pothos. These guys are so resilient and
beautiful too.
Great for purifying the air. I also just love how big and lush they get. They really fill that space nicely.
Yeah.
So I find using a plant that either has a lot of great big foliage or something kind of like this Schinapsis that has a really beautiful cascading growth really brings a wall to life.
Awesome. So in terms of the benefits, so you've already mentioned a couple about, first of all, they're very beautiful. What are some of the benefits of having a living wall or just having plants in your home?
That's a great question, and another thing that I really try to encourage and sort of talk a lot about, especially at our workshops, is how plants are beneficial for your home and for your health. It is proven that plants can improve your mental health, they increase productivity, creativity, and a lot of these plants are actually really great at purifying the air, removing a lot of the chemicals that are given off of soaps and paints and the chemicals, the cleaning agents that you use at home. A lot of these plants really work to kind of help purify the air and pull those impurities out of the air around you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually the kitchen would be probably a really great place.
The kitchen is awesome. They also work great for just managing humidity. If you find you have a space that kind of gets a little bit humid or you just are having issues sort of climatizing, your plants can help manage that.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So one of the things that I was wondering about, there's a lot of like trends that come in and out, and there has been a lot of talk about, you know, living walls. Do you think this is a trend, or do you feel that this is something that is here to stay? You know,
living walls aren't new necessarily. They've been around for a long time. I think they're more coming on trend because people are more recognizing the benefits of having one and of course how absolutely stunningly beautiful they look in a space. I think what is more new is bringing that and integrating it into your home, because large scale living walls can be a massive project. They can get really expensive. There's a lot of irrigation and plumbing and all these sorts of crazy things that go into installing something on that scale. But what I love about this product is that anyone can use it. You can install it in your home. You can use just one, you can use 4, you can use 10, and really accomplish that look that you want.
So this is perfect for, rather than having a giant, you know, a giant display, this is perfect for most people's homes, condos, you know, bathrooms, anything like that. It sounds like that you could
Absolutely.
Use these.
So versatile, and you don't need to worry about plumbing. You don't need to worry about an irrigation system. All of these factors that are taken into consideration on mass scales.
Okay.
Which basically monitor the watering system. This already has it built in. They've basically made it so it's very user friendly for the general public.
I love having green and plants in spaces. I just think it brings everything to life. But what if you're not fantastic with plants? What if you're not a green thumb? Do you have to be a green thumb?
I really am not a believer in black thumbs. I think that everyone is able to grow, especially if you are kind of given the toolbox to do so. We teach, you know, all shapes and sizes at our workshops. You come in, you get to learn the basics about plants, about plant care. We get the opportunity to teach you about terrariums, and for those people that are really, really, you know, don't have the green thumb, more or less, one thing that I love talking about and that you can have the opportunity to make are these sealed terrariums. These guys here actually never need to be watered, which is really cool.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So they're great for the low maintenance gardener. Basically, everything is sort of encapsulated inside. They're self-sustaining little ecosystems.
That's perfect. This is fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on. We have about 10 seconds left. How can people reach you?
theurbanbotanist.ca. We're on Instagram and Facebook.
Thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Make sure to check out Emma and her awesome workshops. Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. Stay tuned for our next episode.